Our First Amendment right protects our freedom of speech, press, religion, assembly, and petition. Our First Amendment right also protects our right to say and write our own opinions. Our Sixth and Seventh Amendments reserve our rights to a speedy and public trial with an impartial jury. You also have the right to a lawyer and to take the stand if you choose to. Our Seventh Amendment reserves our right to have a jury trial. In 2003, when I was only 7 years old, I remember my family going through a huge trial. I remember seeing it on the local news, and I remember my mom being very upset about it. My mom's brother, my uncle, was facing 5 years in prison and a $250,000 fine if convicted of threatening the life of the President of the United States. In October 2001, less than a month after the September 11th terrorist attacks, my uncle had stopped in a pawn shop that doubles as a Western Union Center in Wyoming to receive a money order from my grandparents on his way back home to Wichita, Kansas from Washington State. In the shop on the cable TV, President Bush was delivering a speech taking responsibility for accidentally bombing a building of which 4 United Nations staffers were working in Afghanistan. As a United States veteran, the decision of bombing another country in response to the September 11th terrorist attacks angered my uncle. While watching the speech, my uncle made the remark that someone should shoot that man, in reference to President Bush. The 2 people working in the pawn shop reported my uncle and fabricated what he had said. I've always known my uncle to be a very intelligent man who said whatever was on his mind. And I've also always known my uncle to be completely harmless and caring human being. Anyone who knows him knows that my uncle could not do what he was being accused of. With that said, in June 2002, my Uncle Dustin was charged with threatening the life of the President of the United States. And in October 2003, he entered a federal trial against the United States of America. The trial was held in Wyoming, and I remember my mom leaving for a week to testify. My uncle's lawyer argued that expressions of hostility are not true threats and that freedom of speech allows for these comments. In this case, my uncle was simply exercising his First Amendment right of freedom of speech and never had the intentions of harming the President of the United States. There was no gun, no bullets, no plan. He did not say, "I will" or "I'm planning to," claimed his lawyer. My uncle's Sixth and Seventh Amendment were granted to him as he had a speedy trial with an impartial jury and was also granted a lawyer. The jury of 7 men and 5 women found my uncle not guilty. I remember the relief of my mom and the rest of my family as my